Philadelphia is a city where American ideals were born, a place where the echoes of revolution and the promise of liberty still linger in the air. Here, the past is never far away. Its cobblestone streets and historic landmarks remind us of the dreams that shaped a nation. But those ideals are being tested every day, as the city grapples with challenges that are as old as they are urgent. The struggle between hope and hardship plays out on every block. Walk its cobblestone streets, and you'll see both prosperity and hardship side by side. The city's energy is undeniable, but so is the tension between those who thrive and those who are left behind. In Rittenhouse Square, cafes buzz with life, laughter, and conversation, while, just blocks away, people seek shelter in doorways, their struggles hidden in plain sight. The contrast is stark, and it's impossible to ignore. Gleaming skyscrapers rise above the city, symbols of ambition and progress. While at their feet, others hold signs asking for help, hoping for a little kindness from passers-by. How can so much wealth and poverty exist together in a city built on brotherly love? The question lingers, challenging us to look deeper at the forces that shape our communities. This isn't just a Philadelphia problem, it's a question for all of us, in every city across the nation. The divide between abundance and need is a story that plays out everywhere. The city's soul is on display, tested by resilience and hardship alike. Every face tells a story, of perseverance, of hope, and sometimes, of heartbreak. As we explore, we'll look past the landmarks to meet the people behind the statistics, the neighbors and families who make up the true fabric of Philadelphia. We'll hear their stories and examine the forces that brought us here, stories of struggle, resilience, and the search for opportunity in a changing city. This is the fight for Philadelphia's future and for the future of all its residents. It's a fight for dignity, for justice, and for a city where everyone has a chance to belong. Join us as we uncover the real story behind the city of contrasts and discover what it truly means to be a city of brotherly love in the 21st century. The numbers in Philadelphia are stark. Over 5,200 people are homeless, and that figure only scratches the surface of a much larger crisis. These are not just statistics, they represent real people, families, and children who have lost the stability of a place to call home. In just 2 years, homelessness has surged by 15%, a dramatic increase that's impossible to ignore. Every day, more Philadelphians find themselves without shelter, forced to navigate the uncertainty of life on the streets. The safety nets that once helped have vanished, leaving more people exposed. Shelters are overwhelmed, and resources are stretched thin, making it harder for those in need to find support. The crisis is not evenly felt. Black residents, who make up 44% of the city's population, account for a staggering 66% of those experiencing homelessness. This disproportionate impact is a direct result of decades of systemic inequality and discrimination. This is the legacy of systemic inequality, not chance. Generations have faced barriers to housing, employment, and opportunity, creating cycles that are hard to break. The core issue? Housing costs have soared while wages stagnate. Affordable options are disappearing, and new developments often price out long-time residents. Today, the average rent for a one-bedroom apartment is $1,107, but a minimum wage earner brings home just $1,257 a month. The gap between income and rent is growing wider, making it nearly impossible for many to keep up. For many, the math simply doesn't work. Every month is a struggle to cover basic expenses, and the threat of eviction looms large for thousands of families. Over half of renters spend more than 30% of their income on rent, leaving little for anything else: food, healthcare, or savings for emergencies. One unexpected expense, a job loss, a medical bill, or even a rent hike, can push families into homelessness almost overnight. The margin for error is razor thin. The crisis on the streets is just the tip of a much deeper housing emergency. Behind every tent or encampment is a story of struggle and resilience. It's a citywide struggle, affecting hundreds of thousands. The housing crisis touches every neighborhood, every community, and every demographic. The question isn't just who is homeless, but how many are one step away. For many, the line between stability and crisis is frighteningly thin. Philadelphia's housing crisis is urgent, visible, and growing. The numbers demand action, and the time to act is now, before even more families are left without a place to call home. Philadelphia's skyline has changed, with thousands of new apartments rising in recent years, but most of these are luxury units, out of reach for average residents. The construction boom, driven by tax breaks, has widened the gap between rich and poor. Long-term residents are being priced out as rents climb citywide. The promise of new housing hasn't solved the affordability crisis, it's made it worse for many. Now, with the tax incentives gone, construction is slowing dramatically. Even high-end housing will be in shorter supply, and affordable options are scarcer than ever. The city faces the consequences of prioritizing luxury over necessity. For many Philadelphians, the boom has brought only more uncertainty. The challenge ahead, building homes that everyone can afford. The homelessness crisis in Philadelphia is rooted in history. Decades of segregation and redlining denied black families access to mortgages and opportunity, creating generational poverty. Without generational wealth, families are vulnerable to every setback. For a while, housing first policies helped, and homelessness declined. But with pandemic aid gone and costs rising, old vulnerabilities have resurfaced. The progress made has been reversed, exposing deep systemic flaws. Without dismantling these barriers, any solution will be fragile. The legacy of discrimination still shapes who has a home and who does not. Behind every statistic is a story. Like Nadia writes, when we talk about homelessness, it's easy to focus on numbers and trends, but each number represents a real person with hopes, dreams, and struggles. Nadia's journey is a powerful reminder that homelessness can happen to anyone, at any time. At 29, Nadia lost her job, then her home, and found herself in a shelter. She never imagined her life would take such a turn, but a series of setbacks left her with nowhere else to go. The shelter became her only refuge, a place to regroup and try to find her footing again. When she became pregnant, the shelter couldn't house her, forcing her back onto the streets. Suddenly, she was not only responsible for herself, but for the life growing inside her. The uncertainty and fear she faced were overwhelming as she searched for a safe place to stay. Her experience reveals a critical flaw. Shelters often can't support families or pregnant women. Many facilities are simply not equipped to handle the unique needs of mothers-to-be or families with children, leaving them especially vulnerable during times of crisis. Despite these setbacks, Nadia enrolled in a healthcare training program and earned her certification. She studied late into the night at the public library, determined to create a better future for herself and her child, even when the odds seemed stacked against her. She's searching for work, determined to build a better life for her child. Every day she faces new challenges, but her resolve never wavers. She dreams of stability, of a home where her child can feel safe and secure. Nadia's resilience is inspiring, but her struggle is a powerful indictment of a broken system. Her courage shines through, but it shouldn't take extraordinary strength just to survive. The barriers she faces are not of her own making. They are the result of policies and systems that fail to protect the most vulnerable. She doesn't lack drive, she lacks stable, affordable housing. The search for a safe place to live is a daily battle, one that too many families are forced to fight. Her story is not unique. It's the reality for thousands. Across Philadelphia and across the country, families like Nadia's are struggling to find shelter, support, and hope. The crisis is personal, not abstract. It touches lives, breaks families apart, and tests the limits of human endurance. It's about mothers, children, and families fighting for a fair chance. It's about dignity, opportunity, and the right to a safe place to call home. Nadia's journey shows what's at stake and what needs to change. Her determination is a beacon of hope, but it also highlights the urgent need for real solutions. The human face of homelessness is a call for action. It's a reminder that behind every statistic is a person who deserves compassion, support, and a chance to thrive. Philadelphia is responding with bold plans. Mayor Sherrell Parker's administration proposes a $2 billion investment to create or preserve 30,000 affordable homes. But the need is immediate. Shelter beds fall thousands short every night. Winter brings emergency code blue shelters. But these are only temporary fixes. Prevention is key. The eviction diversion program mediates between landlords and tenants, keeping people in their homes. Right to Counsel offers free legal help to tenants facing eviction. These programs work, but the scale of the crisis demands more. Success will require sustained funding, political will, and community support. The city is racing to build a bridge while people are already in the water. The challenge: can Philadelphia act fast enough to save those at risk? The future depends on it. Philadelphia's story is one of contrasts, wealth and poverty, hope and hardship. We've seen the numbers, but we've also met people like Nadia, whose resilience inspires us. This isn't just a local crisis, it's a test of our values as a society. It's easy to look away, but real change starts with compassion and action. Support organizations providing shelter, food, and legal aid. Demand that leaders make affordable housing a priority. Champion proven solutions like Housing First. The journey home for thousands will be long, but it's not impossible. Let Philadelphia's legacy of brotherly love be more than a slogan. Let it be a call to action. The promise of America is that everyone deserves a safe, dignified life. By working together, we can help fulfill that promise. The journey for every citizen should be a journey home. Thank you for joining me.